Well, good morning. Today's hike starts at Center Point Trail on the Buffalo River, and we're heading to Hemmed In Hollow and back. So it's about 8:45 this morning. A little overcast skies. Supposed to get up mid to low 80s, so it'll be a little hot today, but sorry about the truck there. It's about 5 miles to the falls and 5 miles back. There's a little start sign here. Talks about the Ponca Wilderness Trails. And there's the trail point marker. And this is a horse trail, designated horse trail, so there's the first sign of horses back there. There were 3 other cars in the parking lot, so there's some other folks down here. I didn't see any horse trailers or anything up there, but maybe they parked across the street. Maybe they're another day, I don't know. But there's some people on the trail. Now this road used to be a road. When I was growing up here, you could drive all the way down to the river to a place called Jim's Bluff. And it had a big rope swing off the top of the bluff. And it was a pretty popular swimming hole, swinging off that rope swing into the river. But then when they made it a national river, they closed down a lot of these driving trails. But it was an easy way to get down there. Now you just hike down to it. Beautiful view in the canyon down there below. I did the Buffalo River Trail about a week ago, 10 days ago, and it was right after a big rain, so there was a lot more water, a lot more flowing creeks and springs. It's been a little bit dry since then, so probably not as much water. And I'm sure we'll find a few little springs like this one trickling here and there for water source. I just pack 1 liter of water, and then I have my Sawyer filtration system, and then a Hydro Pack bladder that's got a filter on it too, so I got a backup filter system for water. just a drainage there. Runoff. So the start of this trail is pretty easy, kind of a real gradual downhill slope. And you can hike into Hemden Hollow from Compton Trailhead. It's about half the distance. It's 5 miles into the falls going this way, and 2.5 miles going from the Compton Trailhead. But it's pretty much straight down and straight up from Compton Trailhead. I hiked that, I don't know, 5 years or so ago, and it was miserable coming out. It's just steep and never ending for a mile or more, back and forth. A lot of rocks, a lot of step ups. So I thought I'd go this route, just be a little bit more leisurely hiking. And see a little bit more different terrain. I don't know as I've ever hiked down this trail. I drove down it before, but never hiked down it. Again, that was back before it was a national river. My brother, back before it was a river, he was riding dirt bikes down this road with a friend of his, and he came around I don't know if they was on this exact trail or not, but he came around a corner of a trail they were on, and there was a hornet's nest about head high, and his helmet hit that hornet's nest, and he said he turned around and it looked like a cartoon where the hornets drop out and make an arrow and come straight towards you. So he like just nailed it, and he was going through trees and sticks and just making his own trail, I think, through the woods. And the guy behind him, he never even saw what happened. He didn't even know he hit the thing, and he didn't get stung or anything. He finally caught up with him. He said, "Man, what did you do?" And he goes, "Man, I hit a hornet's nest." He goes, "Man, I just saw you nail it and take off through the woods, and I didn't know where you went." So anyway, I think he ended up getting stung once or twice or something like that, but that's a cool little story about this trail right here. There's another little hiker right there. A little terrapin. Going uphill, buddy. That's the hard way. It's getting a little more rocky and a little steeper now. Starting to head downhill. Little spring right here. It comes out of the side of the mountain, dribbles off, and there's a concrete structure right up there, right about there, and it's kind of showing on Onyx that it's private land right around that little parcel. So I don't know, it looks like a culvert where it used to be a driveway at some point. So somebody lived there a long time ago, had this water source here. It's kind of washed out going down the road. We've got a little side trail here that parallels it, so we'll step here on the dry. Somebody's not leaving no trace. Some toilet paper there. Hate to see that. That over here on the left is the actual old road that's grown up. Just where that spring is running down the road right now is washing it out. So the trail's getting a little steeper and more washed out right through here. There's some nice big rocks to walk over. A little washout in the trail here. Probably flows pretty good after a rain. A little culvert from where the road was. Yeah, it runs pretty good here when it rains, looks like. Washed out. That's where we came. The trail comes up here and heads back down along that, what used to be the road, I guess. Man, look at the size of that tree. Massive. A little bit of a muddy section here. Just down past that last culvert we saw, there's a little spring on the right hand side of the trail slash road. And looks like it's didn't come too far from up the hill there, so it ought to be a pretty good place for water. And right down from that water source is a little camp spot. The actual old road goes down there, turns around. It's just a shortcut from the path that somebody, a hiking path goes down, goes back next to the road. Here's that little spring. Yeah, definitely a good place to get water. Somebody set their little water bottle down here, and there it sits. I'll probably be looking for that later. What kind of scat is that? Pig? I don't know. Coyote, maybe? Right off the trail here, a path leading over to a sinkhole. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere, just kind of depression. I'm sure the water runs in there. Not too much farther down, here's the junction that goes to Goat Bluff. Overlooks the river down there, one of the higher bluffs on the river. Pretty dramatic view. I don't think I'm gonna hike over there this morning. If I got time coming back, I may loop back over there and get some pictures. So just passed a couple other day hikers. They're heading back to the parking lot, looks like. But this is the intersection here, which I believe that goes down to Goat's Bluff. And this one continues on to Indian Hollow. It's the Center Point Trail. And there's a little camp spot right over there. And there I am right there, Goat's Bluff Trail, and on to Hemden Hollow. So this Onyx back country is pretty nice. Download the map so you're offline. You can still see your trail and tracks you. It's actually a really nice camp spot. There's another larger camp spot up here, and it's all flat and open. This would be a good place to camp. Well, I got to the bottom of the hill. Well, not the bottom, but that road area almost. And this is the little junction here. It says Compton Trailhead to the left. old river trail down that way. And there's a post over here, a tree that tipped over and someone leaned up. It says Sneed's Creek to the left. Center Point Trail is what we're on, so we continue on this way. The Center Point Trail towards Sneed's Creek. And I think we'll cross it up here in just a little ways. Just around the corner from that junction we just passed. It's an old homestead. Pretty cool looking place. I can just picture a grandma out on the porch churning butter. Or eating oranges. Looks like somebody ate an orange. Pretty cool old place. There's the old, looks like a storm cellar right there, root cellar. And goes out here to another structure. Maybe a chicken coop or a outhouse, I don't know. Looks like there's been raccoons up in the attic. I don't think I'm going to go up there. It didn't look too safe. Then we got the little glass jars with flowers in the windowsill. Pretty cool. Look at the size of that old oak tree. I believe that's a white oak, but man, that thing's massive. Here's some old implements. Looks like an old plow, 2-point plow, hooked onto something. And this just looks like a sprayer. Probably had some orchards or something around. And must have been making moonshine too. That's where Evan Williams lived. An old car steering wheel, man. Tractor or something. Look at that rickety pile of rocks that this house is leaning on. Wow. Got a sign up here. It says no horses in front yard, no fires in front yard. Horses must use hitching posts, do not tie to trees. Huh. Pretty cool. And there's an old shoe. A little bitty shoe. Must mean Granny's shoe. And it says in memory of Eva Barnes Henderson. Up there on the wall. Eva and Frank had a cow and a dog. This is old Grandma Henderson's place, so guess it was Grandpa Henderson at one time too. Anyway, so from here, let's see. Looks like the trailhead goes right down this way from the front porch. There's a little trail leading off that way. I think that probably goes to the creek. There's a creek down that way, Sneed's Creek, but we're going to stay on this trail here to get us to from there straight down away from the porch. Yeah, looks like we're on track here. And we're about 2.6 miles in from the Well, I didn't turn my tracker on for a way, so we're probably closer to 3 miles in from the parking lot. So we're a little over halfway to the falls. And it always gets bushy down here when you get close to the creeks and rivers. So I prefer to wear long pants even though it's hotter. I just don't like all these bushes rubbing up against me, and then I treat them with that permethrin, however you say it. And it seems to do good. I haven't had hardly any chiggers. Had one tick when I did my 5-day hike. Well, 2 I think actually. One that bit me and another one I just pulled off. So anyway, I think it's a good way to treat your clothes and treat them before you go and let them dry, and bugs leave you alone. So off the trail to the left, that's Sneed's Creek. Goes up pretty close to the cabin up there, but the trail's fixing to cross it here in a little bit. It goes down that way. And just off this trail right here, kind of in the midst of all these cedars, looks like a really nice campfire and camp spot out there. Looks like it's cleared out pretty good. Will be a good place to camp. Got a good water source close by. And here's the little trail going to the campsite. Right there. Let's take a peek. Yeah. Cleaned out nice. Beautiful little spot. Plenty of flat spaces to set up several tents. Pretty cool. The trail goes right through there. Looks like some mules or something's been through here. I think I'm gonna jump down here and get me some fresh water. I got the Sawyer squeeze and filter me a little bit of water. Little creek here. And massive bluffs right there. Pretty cool. I think the trail is going to cross the creek down here and actually maybe go back that way. Kind of what it looks like on the map. And this is where Sneed's Creek runs into the Buffalo. And just on around that bend in the Buffalo there, around that bluff, another turn or so is Jim's Bluff over on this right-hand side. And I believe that road right across the creek here is what continues on to Hemden Hollow. So we kind of head back upstream on a trail. Trails everywhere around here, but let's see if we can't get on the right one. I think that road right there is part of the old river trail. We don't want to take it because it crosses the Buffalo. So we'll stay up along this side. There's a trail that goes up over the top of the hill. Yeah, looks like that's it right there. The old river trail is shorter distance, but you got to cross the Buffalo, and it's kind of up right now, so I don't really want to spend time taking my boots off and wading. And take us right past those big bluffs we just photographed on the other side of the creek. Wow. Really awesome. This is right next to the Sneed's Creek. There's a little sassafras tree. You can tell it's sassafras because it's got 3 different shapes of leaves. It's got a single, a double, and a triple. And I think it's during the fall or sometime when the sap goes all the way back in the roots, you can dig up the roots and make sassafras tea. I used to do that when I was a kid. And then this tree right behind it here is what's I think it's called, what I always called ironwood, and it's kind of got these veins like around the tree. And it's real slow growing. It always is down by the creek area, so ironwood. It's got kind of a leaf. It looks almost like a Looks like an elm almost to me, but uh-oh, first aid event. Through some thorns back there. Green briars. Alright, this looks like the trail heading away from the creek. Should be it. There's another ironwood right there. A little bit bigger tree. Really hard wood because it's really slow growing, kind of like a dogwood. Speaking of dogwood, I think that's a dogwood right there. Yeah, looks like we're on the right trail here. Well, let's get up and over this hill onto the falls. There's pretty little moss here. All along this hillside. I guess these are moss or a lichen or something. Green moss back here. Pretty cool. A little bitty wet spot. Probably a good source for water after rain. Well, we got up on top of this ridge. Just hiking along. Got to go across another little depression, creek, whatever, up here. I don't know if we go down and then back up or just straight across it. That's pretty cool. Big bluffs. I don't know if that's the same ones we passed down there. Might be. We're up on top of them now. There's probably different ones, but there's our little dry creek. A little bit of water down there at the end, so I hear it dripping off the bluff down there, so there's like a little spring or outlet or something down there. Pretty cool rock formation and a ledge right here. And up at the top of this hill, there's a post. It says falls. 7 miles that way. 0.7. Okay, I was gonna say it's only 5 from the parking lot. 0.7 miles. And there's a little, looks like a nice little campsite right down there in the below. There's a little marker on the tree. Hemmed in hollow. And I think that goes back to the Compton trailhead. Let me see. No, that's a, it does go to the Compton trailhead, but it's a long route around. There's another trail that leads off straight up the hill to the Compton trailhead. Anyway, we're going down this way. So once you pass that sign back there, it said HIH. There's a little camp spot there. There's another sign that says no camping on down this trail. So there's no camping past that spot up there. So neat little rock formation. Another big ironwood tree. They don't get very big. Trails dropping down into the creek that goes up to Hemmed In Hollow. Basically follow this little trail up the creek until we get to the falls. Nope, I guess that's not the hollow. Next ridge over. Neat little creek bed too. Lots of boulders. Well, let's hop over this ridge and see what's on the other side. Oh, this is a trail junction right here. That's where the old river trail comes in. This stays down low, crosses the Buffalo twice to get back to Sneed's Creek. In this direction is on to the falls. And I'm pretty sure we're in the canyon now of the falls. So it ought to be up here just a little ways. Falls, 0.2 miles. Buffalo River, 0.7 miles. And we've got water in the stream. That's good. Nice and cool down here. A lot of water. Nice little stream area, little creek. Get water on the. When I come out of here, I'll stop and fill up what I need here. Beautiful breeze, cool. Feels great right here. There's the falls up there. A couple of people up there. I'm gonna get a little closer and get some more filming. So the trail comes in right here at this rock pile, and you just walk up it to the falls. A little pool right here. Pretty cool. Tall canyon cliffs on all sides here. Well, starting my trip back out of the falls area. Big old massive rock right here. Just a mess of boulders right here you gotta kind of climb over, but wind's picked up, feels kind of nice. Nice and cool up there. Anyway, I'm gonna hike down to this next spring and fill up my waters. Yeah, up on the ridge here. Here's some canoers down there. A lot of hollering and bumping of canoes. Met several people up at the falls. A couple of guys, day hikers. They parked up at, everybody parked up at Compton, walked down. So they were from Fayetteville area. And there was a couple from Dallas. Got there about the time I was leaving. And then a younger couple from New Orleans. And I guess they went to school in Mobile, Alabama. Anyway, they had me take their picture holding a Red Beard Outfitters out of Mobile, Alabama. So shout out to the Red Beard Outfitters. Anyway, nice people, and they're enjoying it out here. It's pretty nice weather. I did see one other hiker coming in as I was leaving. He was a solo day hiker, so anyway, I left around 1 o'clock from the falls. Should put me back to the car around 4. I may take a detour and run down to Goat's Trail. Just the first of it anyway, to get some good pictures of the cliff and river down there. So we'll see how I feel when I get there. Just jumped a white-tailed deer. Probably bedded down on that hillside. Jumped up when I came through. She's standing right up there, or he. I don't know if it's a buck or doe. Right through there. Well, have a good day. Just past 3 mules going downhill. I guess they started at Compton. No, at the Center Point Trailhead. I think they go down to the Buffalo River, and I don't know if they turn around and come back or go up some other trail, but looked like a fun little deal. Might have to try that sometime. Be a whole lot easier than walking out of here, that's for sure. Well, it's about a little before 2:30, and I'm back at the junction here where it's campsites and then goats trails down that way. I think I'm gonna go check it out. Feeling pretty good. I think it's only another mile or a little more back to the parking lot, so let's go down here and check out the bluffs. They're not too far down. It's one gnarly old cedar tree. Nice cool breeze. Oh man, look at that view. Get away from these trees and I'll show you. Pretty awesome. There's a canoe going through the gravel down there. See through the trees. There's the river. Well, it's looking Nice and clear, down a little bit. Wow, look at that. Too many trees, you can't really see to the bottom, but I can see the river down there. There's the little hole. There's the shot. There's two kayakers right down there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I might be doing a little fishing. Man, what a place. Turned out to be a great afternoon. A little bit of cloud cover. Nice breeze. I guess the temperature's probably upper 70s, lower 80s. Feels like it's actually cooling down a little bit. It's supposed to, possibility to rain. Chance of rain this afternoon late, so. I've got another mile left to get to the parking lot, so feeling pretty good. Got a steep section here and kind of rocky, so. Get back to the parking lot. Woohoo! Well, recap of the day. Left at 8:45 this morning, and it's 4:22 now. Went to Hemmed In Hollow, and then on the way back did a loop down to Goats Trail, and then back up Goats Trail, and then back up to here. 14.4 miles is what the Onyx backcountry tracker did, so feeling pretty good coming up that last hill, but I am tired, so I'll take a few days off. It was fun, good time, lots of sights. Bye.